and welcome to the Nexus for our Raw review. I thought Raw was pretty okay. There was nothing special. Obviously, it was the last of the draw, which superstars will go there. So, without further ado, let's get into the show because it's 3 hours long. I still personally think that it's a bit long. It's a bit too long, to be fair. But that is what it is. Anyway, the advertised kickoff, just like on SmackDown, was going to be one Raw superstar versus a SmackDown superstar, with the winner getting the first pick. The problem I have with this is that it was too easy to know who was going to win, because Raw has 3 picks each round and SmackDown get 2. And obviously it would work out better if it goes Raw, SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, instead of SmackDown, Raw, SmackDown, Raw, Raw. It just doesn't make any sense. So you know, just like on SmackDown, the Raw, whoever represents Raw, is going to win. So the advertised match was Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. Becky Lynch comes down. Sasha Banks is injured, which we've known since Hell in a Cell. Becky comes down and says she's injured due to the beating that I gave her on Sunday. Charlotte comes down. Now, Charlotte is a SmackDown superstar, but we have a draft and she hasn't been drafted yet. And like I said, right at the very start, you know who's going to win. Becky Lynch, representing Raw. Raw gets the first pick. I'm going to put the rules again. So there's the rules just there. On what it has. 2 superstars, teams count as 1 pick, and that's it. That's what it says. And these are the rounds. Now I'm putting all the rounds here right now. So there's round 1, round 2, as you can see. Kabuki Warriors have been picked as well. So they move to Raw, but they did say on the commentary that their women's tag team titles will be defended on both shows. But without the superstars moving to each show, I don't really know how that's going to work. There was another obviously interesting one, as they pop up here, as you can see, was Carmella to SmackDown. She was already on SmackDown. But R-Truth to Raw. R-Truth is the 24/7 champion. So going forward, it looks like Raw will have the US title, Universal title, obviously the Raw Tag Team titles, the Women's Tag Team titles, the 24/7 title, and obviously the Raw Women's Championship title as well. So as you can see, at 6, SmackDown will have WWE title, Intercontinental, the SmackDown Tag Team title, and the Women's belt. So they only have 4 titles going forward. So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously Raw's 3 hours long, so maybe that's why it deserves more. But like I said, I think the 24/7 and the women's tag team titles can move between the brands, but without them able to shift, I don't really know how that's all going to play out. But as you can see by the draft, I think Raw once again came off stronger. But I'm wondering whether that is just because Raw's 3 hours long. I think that's just why it looks stronger coming off. But they've got some good superstars. But there are so many superstars left out. Cesaro wasn't picked. The list goes on. There was quite a lot of superstars. Not Elias. There was just so many superstars that just weren't picked. And I don't know why other superstars were. I don't know where they were going to be judged. But anyway, keep an eye on WWE.com and Facebook and YouTube, because all the other bits for the draft will be happening on there. So I would imagine by Monday by this Monday coming, it will all be settled and we'll know which superstars are where. So anyway, that was our first. Then we had Becky Lynch and Charlotte. Our next match is Andrade versus Ali. We get a big Andrade because he's just been picked in the draft for Raw. He comes out with Zelina Vega. And then it goes to a commercial break. When we come back, Ali's in the ring, so we didn't even see Ali's entrance. Obviously, it's a pretty good match. These two have wrestled a few times, and they don't disappoint. It was a good match, and obviously Andrade won. Our next match is for the Raw Tag Team Championship titles. So it's Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode versus the Viking Raiders. Now they won a match last Monday, which has now granted them this match. I think the Viking Raiders were drafted before. As you see here, what we didn't know was, as we saw earlier, was Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler were drafted to SmackDown, but at this point they weren't. So maybe them dropping the titles and moving was the way that they were going to do it. Obviously, the Viking Raiders win. They are the new tag team champions for Raw. And I think it's really good going forward. We've got obviously the OC and the Street Profits. It'd be interesting to see where people like the Usos go and AOP. There's quite a few tag teams there that there was not any chance of them picking or anything. So hopefully they may get AOP. I think they should go to SmackDown. But anyway, then we get Aleister Black versus Eric Young. My heart goes out to Eric Young because when he was in NXT as Sanity, they were huge, and they've done away with Sanity now, and it's just Eric on his own. And now, obviously, I remember Eric Young on TNA. He's a good wrestler. I don't know why they're underutilizing him. Anyway, we get Aleister Black. Eric Young's already in the ring. We don't even see his entrance, so I don't know what happened there. He's just in normal trunks now. He just doesn't. He's just a jobber. It's really sad to see that a guy like that they just don't know what to do or how to use it. It's really frustrating. Obviously, Aleister Black wins. They're pushing Aleister Black at the moment. My daughter said while we were watching this, actually, because his entrance is, he has a different name bar that comes up. He sort of pops up like out of a casket. My daughter said, is he trying to be the new Undertaker? Maybe, I don't know. But they're obviously pushing him very well. A nice clean win for Aleister Black. Once again, making Eric Young look worthless and a jobber, basically. It's really sad to see. Our next match, we see Ricochet versus Shelton Benjamin. A good match. A really good match. Both of them are really athletic. I think Shelton Benjamin's a slightly stronger character. Obviously, Ricochet's very quick. Obviously, he picks up the win. The only picture I could get was them both on the floor. I know. The only picture I could grab was that of them both on the floor. But, yeah, that was it. Then we get a contract signing between Braun Strowman and Tyson Fury. Which was a really bizarre thing. They signed the contract. Normally there's a bit of shuffling and puffing. Then Braun Strowman breaks a table like this. He slams that, breaks it in two. And then Tyson Fury has difficulty breaking a pen. I mean, I don't know what all that was about. He was trying to break a pen, he couldn't, and then he broke. And then it was just. It's a gimmick match. I get it. It's a gimmick match for Crown Jewel. But I suppose it is what it is. Yeah, we've had these gimmick boxing type matches before. That is what it is. But I just thought that little segment there was just pointless. Didn't really do anything. Then we get Buddy Murphy, who's now a Raw superstar, versus Cedric Alexander. Both of these superstars really got on really high on Buddy Murphy at the moment. I think he's really good, and they were pushing him on SmackDown for quite a while. We haven't seen him for a bit, but yeah, I'm really high on him at the moment. I think WWE are trying to push him. He's fairly good. He's fairly good. Obviously, Buddy Murphy wins as well. Cedric Alexander, he's another good one. Another really good superstar. And this was a pretty decent match. It was all right. It was quite good. Then we get the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, the Kabuki Warriors, versus Natalya and a special partner. So we don't know who she's going up against. Obviously, Kabuki Warriors come out. Then Natalya's at the thing and says that she wants someone who knows her and who can kick ass and all that sort of stuff. And none other than Lacey Evans. Now, I don't know if this was going to be an angle, but Lacey Evans is now on SmackDown and Natalya's on Raw. And they've been having a feud last couple of weeks, so it was just a bit of a weird combo. They seemed to sort of hug each other as well at the start. It was like, oh, you know those matches they had, forget about them. That didn't really happen. It was just really bizarre. Anyway, it's a pretty decent match, to be fair. It was really decent. Lacey Evans looked really strong in the match, and she came off really well. But the Kabuki Warriors are very good, and that showed in the match, and obviously they won. It was a pretty good match. I love the Kabuki Warriors at the moment. I think that's the right way of putting them together and making them a heel tag team as well, which is really, really good. And then we get now, at the start of the show, Seth Rollins said he was on a hunt to hunt down The Fiend, hunt down Bray Wyatt. At the very start of the show, there is a Firefly episode. Seth Rollins comes along, you can see it here. There's he attacks Bray Wyatt and then sets fire, as you can see here, to the Firefly Funhouse. Is this scrapping it from the TV, or are they going to bring it back with him standing in the half burnt set? Yeah, I don't really know. And it's really weird as well because they've booked a match for the Crown Jewel. Seth Rollins versus The Fiend. Seth Rollins' second match of the night. Versus The Fiend. A Falls Count Anywhere match. And it's really bizarre because it's for the title. But obviously The Fiend is a SmackDown superstar now. And Seth Rollins is Raw superstar. So we've got another week to go yet before Crown Jewel. So I don't really know how that is all going to play out. I don't really know how that's all going to play out. But we shall see come Crown Jewel. That is my review. I think Raw was pretty standard, pretty good. It is what it is. It is what it was. It was a bit standard. There were some good matches in there. We had obviously Andrade and Ali. Pretty decent match. Ricochet, Shelton Benjamin. Another good team up. Another good match. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. Another good match. Kabuki Warriors, Natalya, Lacey Evans, really good match. It was actually well put together. But it was nothing really too extravagant. Too nothing to write home about. But you know, it is what it is. That was Monday Night Raw. I thought it was pretty decent, pretty standard, but decent enough to watch. Obviously, we had all the draft picks as well. Anyway, that is my review of Monday Night Raw. Thank you for watching. Remember to click to subscribe and follow us on Twitter and all of that other stuff. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next video.